While the complete history of computers is an extensive area, over hundreds of years with a connection of mathematics, science, and engineering, the most significant advances with the technology and the new communications have been made within the last 70 years. The innovation of supercomputers and the progress to networked systems, to the personal computer and to the Internet age, has changed the world. Now, let's take a brief look at some significant milestones in this timeline of new frontiers. In 1944, Professor Howard Aiken of Harvard University, along with support by IBM, built an electro-mechanical machine called the Mark I. The machine contained both mechanical and electronic parts. Data was stored electronically inside the device with the use of electromagnetic relays, and mathematical calculations were performed by the machine's mechanical counters. A moth caught in one of the machine's relays and discovered by Aiken's colleague, Grace Hopper, gave rise to the term computer bug. In 1946, Professors J. Presper Eckert and John Mauchly built an all-purpose electronic digital computer, the Electronic Numerical Integrator and Calculator, or ENIAC, which was used by the U.S. government for a variety of computing tasks. The ENIAC weighed 30 tons and covered 15,000 square feet. Eckert and Mauchly would later form a company to market UNIVAC computers to the U.S. Census Bureau. In 1958, Jack Kilby, a scientist at Texas Instruments, invented the integrated circuit, which laid the foundation for future super-fast computers and large-capacity internal storage. Integrated circuits are now an essential component of computers and numerous other electronic devices. By 1969, the United States Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, or ARPA, established ARPANET, a wide-area network linking many colleges and research facilities for sharing information. ARPANET would become the predecessor of the Internet. The powerful Unix operating system was developed at Bell Laboratories in 1970. Later versions of this operating system were widely used on large computers and formed the basis for operating systems for PCs, including Linux and the Macintosh OS X with Red Hat and Fedora, among others. Among other uses, the power of Unix has made possible the production of fascinating animated graphics, including those in movies like Jurassic Park. In 1971, Ted Hoff, a scientist at Intel Corporation, developed the Intel 4004 processor, a computer-on-chip microprocessor, which spawned the beginning of a personal computer industry. Intel Corporation has become the world's leading producer of microprocessors. In 1973, Xerox's Palo Alto Research Center developed the Alto computer that contained a graphical user interface, or a GUI, that contained windows and icons with interaction with a mouse and pointers and a disk, many of the features that would be used years later in commercial PCs. In 1976, as a hobby club project to which they belonged, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, later co-founders of Apple Computer Corporation, built the first Apple computer, the Lisa, named after Jobs' daughter. The following year, Apple introduced the Apple II personal computer, capable of displaying text and graphics in color. The Apple II enjoyed tremendous commercial success, particularly in education among students and schools. In 1980, IBM offered Bill Gates of Microsoft Corporation the opportunity to create the operating system for a personal computer being developed by IBM. Gates accepted, and with the development of MS-DOS, which IBM labeled PC-DOS, Microsoft obviously has benefited greatly with this success. Sony Electronics introduced the 3.5-inch floppy disk and disk drive in 1980. The disk drive and medium would become standard for millions of personal computers for more than 2 decades. In 1981, IBM introduced the IBM PC that quickly captured the largest share of the PC market and became the most widely used personal computer in business. It featured floppy drives and a PC-DOS operating system. It was such a huge social event that in 1982, Time magazine named the computer its Man of the Year, the first object ever to receive the distinction. It was undeniable how important the computer had become. The use and popularity had already become widespread. In 1983, Microsoft announced Microsoft Windows, an extension of the MS-DOS operating system that would provide a graphical operating environment for PC users. With Windows, the graphical user interface era at Microsoft had begun. Dr. Robert Metcalfe developed the Ethernet, the first local area network, or LAN, in 1985 at Xerox's Palo Alto Research Center, or PARC, in Palo Alto, California. Modern LANs allow digital computers of all types and sizes to communicate and share software, data, and peripherals. In 1985, Intel Corporation introduced the Intel 386 microprocessor. This microprocessor was first installed in PCs built by a startup company called Compaq Computer Corporation, which would later be acquired by Hewlett-Packard. Compaq PCs were capable of running software developed for IBM PCs, thereby giving rise to the numerous types of PCs referred to as IBM compatible. Also in 1985, the first CD-ROM players became available. CD-ROM drives and disks would become important storage technologies for personal computers for many years. In 1989, the first commercial internet service provider, called The World, appears and it begins to offer the first dial-up service. Everything changed in 1990 when Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web. Initially, it was intended for use by scientists to share information, but it evolved into widespread usage as a communication system for sharing information containing text, graphics, audio, animation, and video. In 1995, Microsoft introduced Windows 95, a major upgrade of its popular Windows operating system. This upgrade was a combination of MS-DOS and Windows operating systems and included numerous additional functions that resulted in millions of copies being sold. In 1996, a group of universities launched Internet 2, an advanced network for the research community that would enable institutions to develop new capabilities for possible use on the commercial Internet. By 1996, 1/3 of U.S. homes now have a personal computer, and 2/3 of U.S. employees had access to personal computers. More than 250 million personal computers were in use. In 1998, Apple Computer Corporation introduced and began selling the iMac, an upgraded version of its Macintosh computer. The iMac quickly became popular among Macintosh loyalists. The term Y2K, where did it come from? The approaching new millennium year of 2000 caused a worldwide scare because of millions of older computer programs that were incapable of correctly processing data based on the year 2000 and beyond. Reading only the last 2 digits, computers could not distinguish between the year 1900 and the year 2000. Business and government spent billions of dollars rewriting software. Interestingly, the Y2K concern turned out not to be a significant problem. In 2000, Intel Corporation introduced its Pentium 4 microprocessor chip that quickly became the most popular CPU for personal computers. An upgrade of its predecessor, the Pentium 3, the Pentium 4 provided a processing technique called hyperthreading, which greatly improves system performance in areas including image processing, video content creation, games, and multimedia. The Pentium 4 has led to the rapid increase in the demand for computer video games. Also in 2000, Small portable flash memory cards that plug into a computer's USB port and function as portable hard drives are introduced. USB flash drives are easy to use as they are small enough to be carried in a pocket and can plug into any computer with a USB drive. In 2001, Microsoft released its XP group of products, including Windows XP and Office XP. Windows XP provided users with increased security and a more fluid desktop interface. Improved speech and handwriting recognition was also added, along with smart tags and task panes. A variety of new technologies appeared in the marketplace in 2002. Digital video cameras and recorders allowed users to make and edit high-quality videos. DVD writers and recorders began replacing older CD writers. DVDs can store up to 8 times more data than the CDs they replace, enabling users to store more movies, photos, music, and more on a single DVD disc. The tablet PC is also introduced, a useful device for mobile users. And the newly introduced LCD flat panel monitors are an immediate hit among PC users. In 2003, Apple Computer entered the online music business with its iPod MP3 player and online iTunes venture. During the first year, Apple users downloaded from its iTunes website nearly 20 million songs at 99 cents each. By the end of 2003, the Recording Industry Association of America, or RIAA, seeking to protect its music-producing membership, filed numerous legal suits against computer users who were offering copyrighted music over their peer-to-peer networks. By 2004, more than 69 million U.S. homes were using a broadband connection, an increase of 35.9% over the previous year. The number of users having broadband connections in the workplace reached 42 million, an increase of 21% over the previous year. By 2006, there were a number of cities and businesses in all parts of the globe offering citizens and customers economical broadband connectivity to the Internet. These locations, called hotspots, are made available to users of notebook PCs, PDAs, and other mobile devices to connect to Wi-Fi access points. Some cities are developing citywide access systems that would allow for Internet access at any location within the city. A Jupiter Research report in 2007, based on a survey of just under 3,000 Internet users, found that online users now spend about 14 hours a week on average surfing the Internet, the same amount of time they spend watching TV. And the most recent release in 2009 by Microsoft of Windows 7, the successor to Windows Vista, has made the operating system more user-friendly. While the computer industry as a whole changes quicker than any other type of business, the history of computers prove that it can be developed and furthered in a multitude of ways. The possibilities are only limited by the people that create them.